that. Yeah, I do like that screenshot. Right. Probably should have had some sort of starting soon or preamble screen, but it's too late now. We are doing the thing. We're live! Hi! Say hello!
Hello!
For Christ's sake, say hello!
Hello.
I was beginning to think, oh no! I'm just going to adjust the volume on that because I was getting some red lines. There we go. And there we go. Yeah, Shotokan, you will find that there are no sound alerts, unfortunately, when I'm running D&D. I have removed them completely for D&D. I should probably just disable that while it's... Yeah, you are scammed. You know what? Just gonna have to deal with it. Hello. So, hi. As I sort of stated in the Discord, there's no main Syleria game this Sunday. So instead, I am running a Sylerian side story on my channel with the lovely Perdicious and Nixie. So, it's
party time.
Party time! As most of you will know, Maurius from our first arc unfortunately did have to leave the party, made a decision that being merely a few weeks old, I believe, needed to really kind of find his way in the world and discover who and what he was and, you know, discover his own path. Does that sound about accurate?
Yeah, it sounds pretty close to... Yeah.
Yep. And given that his life had been a non-stop sort of running from one situation to the next, he decided that this was the opportunity. So after the party had come back from the adventures in the Bastion Between, I paused those. Thanks, mate. Yeah, I should have disabled them, but it's been a hot minute since I've done D&D on the channel. Thanks, Biddy. You went and visited Freyalise's gnomish friends from the expedition that she started with to find that one of her human allies, the druid Glaive, had returned to Cascorn and was looking at escorting the gnomes back home, all the way into the country of Lyra and back to the Order of the Heavenly Triad. Some of them, of course, were remaining behind because one of the number was, unfortunately, still comatose, something that is being led up to being dealt with in the main campaign. But Maurius decided that this might be the opportunity that he needed to get out into the world while still fulfilling, I guess, what he sees as the things that he enjoys doing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Protecting, looking after, guiding. And so, after a night of farewells, Maurius has still been around. While the downtime is continuing for the main group, Maurius and the rest of the gnomes are getting ready to set out for their journey. And it's probably still a few days away at the point where this adventure is going to pick up. Before we do that, though, Maurius, Freyalise, or Perdicious and Nix, anything you want to say? Anything you want to sort of kick into before we actually get into story time?
I am so psyched to be here. It has been so long since I have played Maurius. It is great.
It has been a hot minute since Maurius has existed, yes. Frey? Are you good? You just good to go?
I'm just really excited to go too.
Have you got your dice and character sheets, guys?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Shit, no, hang on. Yeah, of course I do.
I mean, you're setting up your character sheets previously. All right, I will kick off some music in the background very shortly, but so there were a couple of unresolved threads within the city that had been pinging at Maurius before you even went to the Bastion Between. And before you set off, you are still staying at the Rusted Coppers alongside the rest of the group. And there is one of the nights where your sleep is peaceful, but you wake up again to that sound that has plagued you in the past. A sound of almost like wind chimes tinkling through your head, and this sort of blurry silhouetted vision of a large tree, and just this kind of instinctual feel of a direction that it's trying to pull you in. Not in an uncomfortable way, but just kind of this insistent little draw, almost like a lodestone. I mean, you are made of rock, I suppose. It's fairly early. You are entirely capable of doing whatever it is you would like to do for your day. Most of your prep work has probably been done, and you're just really relaxing before heading out to take whatever route you choose to lead the gnomes back to the Order of the Heavenly Triad. So, I suppose we pick up with Maurius. What is it you're doing today? What are you feeling? You're in the Rusted Coppers. The day is effectively yours. Most of the group seems to have headed off on their own little downtime activities, or at least still sleeping, depending on what time you want to get up. What is it that Maurius J.P. Thorazan Jr. wants to do?
Change my name to something shorter.
Very
no.
We can handle that.
Well, I had an idea and then I didn't. This, just to remind me, this bell that's ringing that I keep hearing.
Yes.
Where was that coming from? I had a rough idea of. I remember I had a rough idea of kind of the direction.
You did, and there was, I don't know, I can't remember if you conferred with somebody who had a map. I think Syleria had a map. But you had a general idea that it was sort of to the southwest a little. Like, it's not a huge distance away. It is definitely far more present while you're within the city of Cascorn. And southwest from where you are in the Summer District, you've got, over the Koran River, you've got the Uren District. And whilst you haven't been there, further than that, in that direction is the Liren District. And beyond that, in the specific direction you feel pulled, you're back into the outside of the city. So just pulling a sort of a line from there, it's likely to be either the Uren or the Liren District. But you've also never really followed the pull. You're pretty sure that the way it feels, it'd take you to it if you were to do that. Thanks for the lecture,
Okay. Maurius is going to go and just knock on the door for Freyalise.
All right.
He's getting up, early, but not too early.
He's taking his ease. He's setting ready for his journey. Yeah. Taking your ease.
Yeah. He's rising before the time many would break the fast, but not before the sun has decided, well, it's time I got up.
Yeah. Oh, get up.
So he's just going to go up to Frey's door and just knock on it gently and call out to her.
All right. So, Frey,
It's going to be muffling, like muffled. Is this after the whole shenanigans of the
this can be
previous?
This takes place at some unspecified time within your 2 weeks of downtime. So it can be before any of the stuff you guys have done in the last few sessions, or it can be the next day. That
right now is when you decide that for us, Frey.
Yep. It is.
Oh gosh.
It is an unspecified period of time within that 2 weeks, and considering the way I'm running that downtime, where everything is just kind of whenever, if it makes it easier, then it's after the events. If you don't want to run that, it's before that. It is entirely up to you as to when exactly this happens, because I'm not putting a time frame on it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
so like I say, if it makes it easier, it just keep this as a continuation of where you're at in the campaign, if you'd like.
So you hear a lot of mumbling and a lot of groaning. And then Frey slowly opens the door and she just looks so tired.
Oh, did I disturb you? Do you need some more sleep?
I I I'm okay. I'm just feeling a little bit we drank last night. It was cool.
Oh,
And it
yes.
was like we wanted to ride horses.
Course, right. Yes. I'm sorry I couldn't join you. You know, the preparations were keeping me fairly busy, but I'm pretty sure Glaive and I are ready to go now. We've just got a bit more time to kill.
Oh yeah.
But
What you got planned?
I was actually hoping you'd accompany me for a bit. I intend to make peace with something that's been tugging at me as such. Hopefully.
Frey's just got the biggest smile on her face, and she's just like, "Well, let's go."
Oh, do you like go, or do you want some breakfast first?
Breakfast would be a good idea.
Excellent. Yes, I thought so. Well, it's on me. Let's go get you some nourishment. You know, you're wasting away. You've already shrunk to half your normal size. Oh, no, hang
Uh,
on. You are
oh,
always that small and cute.
oh. Also, did you know that Hetty can fly? Or was that just me seeing things? I don't know. She's magic as well. She's a magic woman. Woman?
He can fly.
Apparently, Hetty can. It might just be me. I don't know. I was very drunk.
That is definitely something. I had uh oh,
We wanted to ride horses. We just wanted to ride horses.
yes, okay. Horses are
Yes, Kaiser, it is now confirmed that this is after the heist.
right. You went riding. You wanted to go right. You know, just perhaps I can arrange that
Ah,
as a kind of farewell gift, I suppose. All right, let's go get you some food, and I'll ponder this further, deeper.
Thrown him for a loop.
Horses. Okay.
Yes,
Right.
after your recent journey of, traveling on the back of, what essentially come to giant minks with prehensile and retractable hair, for some reason, horses are what are holding the attention right now.
I mean, she's not gonna say that. What happened?
No!
No.
I mean, Freyalise may not entirely be aware of what happened.
Frey doesn't
Overall.
really know.
No, exactly.
She just wanted to ride horses, and she saw Hetty flying.
Yep. All right.
Perhaps.
So, yep.
Yeah. As they're walking down to get some food, Maurius just out loud. Perhaps it's probably not best to tell the Noyanan about riding horses. You know, when you're faced with the exceptional, it's easy to feel unexceptional.
Oh,
Points for remembering the creature's name.
Yeah.
In fact, I tell you what, because I don't really do this and I want to get into doing it more often, have a DM inspiration for that.
yay!
Is that advantage on a roll, or is that an additional die?
I'll allow
Everybody
that.
runs it differently.
Yeah,
so.
they do. I'll do advantage. Keeping track of a specific dice size is a little bit more awkward. It is something I want to do a bit more often. I just need to remember it.
So my inspiration shall be this poppy sticking in a rubber because I've got it in front of me.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, I usually just put a little thing on the front of my little laptop still in front of me just to remind me. A visual aid to remind that there is things that exist there. All right.
Yes.
So the two of you head on down then to have yourself a breakfast, regardless of what that may entail. Oh yeah, I forgot to actually do that. So let me just clean that up real quick.
What did you do to my face?
Yeah, I was about to say, I think I just messed everything up. God damn it, I hate that system. There we go. It's alright, it's come back. Sweet. Alright. Thank God. Yes. Nothing happened at all. Right. So you head on down and partake of some breakfast, whether that be the very basic standard, eggs on toast or a bit of bacon or maybe some, oatmeal, whatever you may wish. It can be provided for you. For some reason, most of your tab is still being paid, except for the exorbitant nights of excessive drinking. But whenever the two of you are ready to do whatever you would like to do, you may do it after having a relatively hearty and fulfilling breakfast. Now, Freyalise, I will ask though, how drunk did you get last night?
Well, Frey would have been. She would have been drunk to the point where she would feel a little bit hungover in the morning, but she wouldn't have been really, really, really wasted.
Okay.
Roll a D sober.
Well, I mean, I was going to make a constitution check, but you know what? She said she was a little hungover, so I'll let it ride. All right. Well then, time is yours. What are we doing? Where are you going? What are you up to? You enjoyed a breakfast, hearty or otherwise. Feeling maybe somewhat, in the case of Freyalise, a little better after having consumed some food.
It would have been.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It would have been better. She'd be feeling more better than when she had the cake coma.
Mm. Oh, you were out of it at that point.
Oh yeah.
Like literally and figuratively.
So Maurius is just kind of gonna try feeling the direction of these chimes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
He's kind of doing that while Frey's eating. He's not terribly hungry. He's kind of focused on this.
All right. So since the last time you sort of really had any sort of feeling about this, because it does ping you most sort of nights, but you've sort of found yourself with a day where perhaps, everything is just kind of ready to go and you've still got some time to kill. So now that you've had a bit more time around the city and you've had maybe a bit more of an understanding of its layout, it does get a little easier. I'll get you to make a survival check for me. Just to, let's get you doing a dice roll, because this is D&D. There's dice involved.
First roll. Survival,
baby.
You know what? Let's use that advantage right now.
Oh wow,
that's much better. And the first roll was bad when the second one's still only a 14 and it's much better.
Oh shit. All right. So yeah, apart from the fact that you can figure that this comes from the general direction of where like the Uren district might be, there is a bit more of a pull beyond that. And it doesn't take too long if you guys are sitting out now. It doesn't take too long to sort of angle your way down through the summer markets, through many of the shop areas, and to get to the Singing Bridge over the Koran River, which is where you've entered the Uren district a couple of times now. And as you sort of cross over the Singing Bridge, it's still that distance away. You get the feeling that it is beyond the Uren district, which is making it more likely that it is over in the unexplored to you Liren district. So from here, you sort of have two ways to go. You can either sort of try and make your way through the almost maze-like battlement-style overground Uren district, or up along the original wall, the wall of the original Cascorn, so the wall that surrounds the Varsian district, there is a ramp that leads up that kind of it's about sort of 15 to 20 feet off the ground. It's almost like a secondary road that leads around a good portion of the Varsian district that is known as the Tradeway. And it is how that many of the traders can take their goods between the different districts that don't actually have a boundary or a perimeter with each other. Instead of having to take everything through the Varsian district to get to wherever, because the Varsian is the central one, this is their way to kind of get around that. So you can either take the slightly more grounded Urend route, or you can go along the Tradeway and try and find your way to the Lyran district from there.
Well, I know which one's probably going to end up being more fun and which one I want to go for. But which way would you like to take, Frey?
Oh gosh.
Do you want to take the more direct and probably less eventful wall route? Or weave our way through the maze and maybe come across some things?
I mean, you
No,
say that, but you also know who your DM is.
Yeah, that's why I say that.
Oh, this is quite obviously the most direct and, less encounter likely way.
Yeah. See, it's reverse psychology. By saying that, I'm then making you do that, and then we're going to take the maze way.
I've already set everything up. You guys make your choice. I'm good.
Do you think that we'll go past the Canary? Well, what's left of it? Or do you think we're going to go away from it?
I would be happy to go past it.
I just want to see if they fixed it.
So a small
Yes,
note
okay.
with the plucky canary. It was in the underground section.
Oh
Of the
wait, yeah, it was
district.
underground.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
the massive cavern underneath the Urend district.
Yeah,
the plucky
it's where
canary was down there. So you'd have to make a bit of a detour from where this pull exists to do that, but you can if you want. It's your story. I'm not. Yeah.
I think there's more pressing matters than seeing what happened.
Well, I don't know. I was pretty impressed when I blew the hole in the wall.
Few people were. Yeah.
You want to see the work of art before?
I mean, I imagine it would have been repaired by now, but I would like to see how they've repaired it, if they made any improvements, or if they left it, that bland stone look. Yes, I think we shall. We'll take the detour through the underpass, under the Urend.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, you've travelled this path a couple of times, because you guys have been down into the under Urend, the under market for a couple of times.
Yes, naturally.
Yeah. And so you sort of move away from the ramps up onto the Tradeway and head on out into the relatively straight streets of the Urend district with the towering stone buildings and their ramps and multiple levels of square stone buildings, their obelisk-like watchtowers and paths up in the air that lead between these different obelisks and out onto the battlements. And you find one of the ramps that leads down and into the underground. Following it down, you reach the series of stairs that, after a very short distance of looping around as you head down, it opens up into that monstrous-sized underground cavern that is what primarily constitutes the Urend district. The huge pillars that support the roof that have been carved into the likenesses of various different races, some of which stand on each other's shoulders or support one another. You are, of course, moving down one of the big dwarven ones at the moment. And, of course, along the northern wall, you have the massive mural that is partitioned into several different parts with water depending on the time of day, that cascades down the different murals and creates this illusionary kind of almost slideshow story. But it takes you a good few minutes to traverse down the stairs going around the pillar to come down to the bottom. It is a fairly straight shot to the west to head to where the Plucky Canary was. Are you heading straight there?
Yes, I think so.
Okay. One or both of you can make a survival check, or you can do it with advantage if you'd like. Just randomly for no reason whatsoever.
Should we both do it? I think we should both do it.
Oh gosh.
You're not rolling well on your survival here, mate. What's going on?
No.
Mm.
I got a total of 4.
Oh dear.
No. I got a total of 8.
Hey!
Okay.
That means we got a combined total of trash!
Come to a combined total of fail. All right. So, jeez. That's all right. Nothing is out of the ordinary whatsoever. You guys spend a little bit more time traversing the straight streets, and are you approaching quietly or carefully, or are you just going straight into straight towards the Plucky Canary?
Oh, do we have any issues with being down here? I don't think so. So I think that we're just going to be very chill.
Yes, I don't recall any issues we had or do
Oh
have
yeah,
down
no,
here.
totally.
No,
Yeah,
none
no,
at
totally.
all. So
We
we'll
did
just
nothing wrong.
yes, quite what was. So we'll just
Yeah,
chill
yes.
All right, so no stealth checks are required. We'll just go. So you eventually find yourself very near the small, squat stone building with the canary engraved on the mantle at the front. The damage to the wall that Maurius had created with his tectonic bolt has indeed been repaired. And whilst it doesn't look... Oh my god. I see that all the bots do the whispers now to you directly.
Oh, really?
I've got about
Rude.
3 or 4 private messages going on about best followers and whatnot, and I'm like, why am I getting pings? Anyway, but you see the image of the canary has been remodeled, the wall has been refitted, and virtually all of the damage has been repaired. Because you do remember that when you came down here the second time to talk to Claiborne before he left the city and organised about rescuing Delane from the auctioneer, the repairs to the wall were already underway. And it has been, 2-3 weeks since then. And that was, a couple of days after the original incident. So, whilst, carefully looking, you can sort of see that there is still, it's not the same as it was previously. You can see it's been pretty well repaired. Everything seems like it is back to how it may have been before anything really happened here. Lights are on. There's evidently somebody inside the bar. You can see the very faint glow coming out, and you've got the little stack at the top that seems to have the light there as well. To you, what you would like to do?
Can I ask you to roll me a d6?
Me?
Yeah, you.
Me? Oh, okay. I can do that. Do I have... Take a look. That's a relatively appropriate Maurius-like die. I got a 3, because averages.
Okay. So Maurius comes up to the Plucky Canary and just kind of really, really obviously and really out of place and not exactly normal-like looking.
Mm-hmm.
He goes right up to the wall where he tectonic bolted and just like starts checking it out and like testing it, seeing how strong it is. And he just stands up and just, well, that's not how I would have done it, but I'm no architect. I'm sure whoever did this did a fine job in their eyes. Oh well, we can't all be perfect, can we? I'm sure the Queen would, well, I'm sure she'd still frequent here. If she was down on her luck and no longer Queen and had nothing else going for her. Anyway, yes, they it's a fine repair job, I guess.
Yeah,
They tried
seems
their
reasonable.
best.
Yes. Well, shall we go inside? I would quite like to see the
Well,
inside too. After we kind of destroyed that as well.
sure, let's go inside. Uh,
Okay.
Maurius holds the door for Frey.
All right. So you open up the door, and you do see that despite it being still relatively early morning, fire burning. You've got the little comfortable booths and tables over on the right hand side, and the bar on the left. And the doors at the far end, one of which leads through to like a little storeroom and then through to Claiborne's room, and a secondary one. And as you do sort of open it, there is sort of this from the bar as a figure looks up, and you see a large ogreish who sort of blinks blearily like he's just waking up at somebody coming in. It's like, morning, welcome to the Plucky Canary. Come on in. What can I help you with?
Oh yes, thank you, kind sir. I didn't catch your name.
Yeah, about that. How good's your memory, dude?
Oh, he's got a memory like a steel trap.
Because this is
I
very.
can't remember if it was Mish or Mash I killed though.
Yes, that's the. Yeah. This is the other one. The other one of Claiborne's main bodyguards, the one that did not die, is for some reason now tending bar.
So the Weird Tiger bartender isn't
Like William
He's
is
not-
not here right now.
right.
No, although given that every time you frequented the Plucky Canary previously, hi Becca, bye Becca, we love you. Yeah, given that sort of every time you've come to the Plucky Canary previously, it's been in the evening. You get the impression that's probably the shift he does.
Right.
I believe this is Mish. I'm pretty sure you killed Mash. I've got it written down, but I forgot to actually double check that. I'd reminded myself to check several things this morning, and that's one of the ones that slipped through my mind. Yes, I believe it's Mish. Thankfully, he also has a mind like a sieve. And I'm pretty sure that even as distinctive looking as you are, he sort of just looks at you and like there's almost this glimmer of recognition, and he's just shakes his head like he's half dreaming. So.
Right. Oh yes, good sir. I'm after a drink. And one for my small friend here too.
You offer something strong, something from weak. You want water, you want hard liquor, you want a bit of ale, mead, beer, wine. Water. I said water. I'm saying water again. I got juice. I got milk. I got some. What is it? It's that really good stuff. Valyrian black. That'll get you shit faced.
You know what? I will have whatever you have that is the strongest.
Right. Valyrian black it is.
Excellent. Perhaps just maybe a juice, Frey? You already had a hard night. We don't really want to force you to continue that. Yes, what do you have in the juice range?
Orange juice.
Excellent. Orange works fantastic.
Alright. So one Valerian black and one orange juice.
Yes, please.
All right, and despite him appearing to be marginally dim-witted and perhaps slow of thought, he's not particularly slow of hands, nor is he particularly undexterous. As you see him sort of pull out the drinks and just immediately, with far more nimble fingers than you might have thought. Oh, hello, what's happened to... Oh, we've lost a Freyalise.
I thought we might have.
That's what's going on.
Yeah.
Right. I'm not going to fix that up because when she rejoins, it'll just reset it. Temporarily interrupting. There it is. Let's see how she's doing. The wonders of technical difficulties.
How are we looking, Frey?
Yeah, how you is, Frey?
Is this better?
Hey,
Hey, there we go.
How you doing, love?
Oh, it was just basically what happened was it wasn't reading that I had a headset on.
Right. That's all right.
Yeah.
As long as you're back with us, that what matters. So at this point, unless you wish otherwise, Mish is getting you an orange juice because Maurius was slightly concerned that perhaps a drink of the stronger stuff might not be on the cards for you after your heavy night drinking.
Yeah, no, when they should be looking at every alcoholic beverage like,
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just that borderline vomit whenever you think of that one drink from that one night.
oh yeah, oh
You're not excessively hungover, but man, that one thing you did drink, it left that taste in your mouth that will never vanish in your memory. But yes, Mish does fix you up a nice little, almost like a shot glass of the Valerian black, and a nice big glass of the orange juice. I'll be 2 gold, please.
Yes, of course.
Because Valerian black, some expensive shit.
Sorry, how much was that?
2 gold.
Oh, so yeah, no worries.
Oh yeah, for a humble adventurer, 2 gold isn't much. For your average everyday Joe,
Yeah, 2 gold is like a week's pay.
That's a week's pay for that one little shot glass of this stuff. Yeah.
You know, I might just take the bottle if I can.
Oh, I mean, sure, it's 50 gold if you want it.
I might stick with the shot glass. Thank you.
All right. Yeah, no worries.
And
yeah.
Maurius takes his drink and just kind of gently guides Frey to a nearby table.
All right.
You know, talking to the fine bartender about the price of a bottle of Valerian Black, I remembered I have, all your money.
oh yeah.
Yes, if I'm going with your gnome friends to keep them safe, then perhaps I should, give you your money back so that you've got something to spend. I am... There's not much point me having your money on the other side of Syleria.
Are you sure you're not gonna need it?
No, I've got my own. I was only holding on to yours. I've never spent it. It's not mine to spend.
He's just looking at. Frey's just thinking about it and going, "Trat." So much.
Money.
Oh god.
And Maurius just gently puts down a small pouch of 62 gold and 28 silver, because that's apparently how much I've got of yours.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So, is there anything I should know about any of your gnome friends? Any, curious traits or ticks or anything of interest that may help me look after them better? I noticed Glaive can definitely take care of himself.
Yeah,
But I
Glaive
don't
can.
wanna...
They are easily distracted sometimes. especially when there's like particular, I would say like wildlife or plant life.
Well, I have never dealt with anybody that's easily distracted, so I have no idea how to manage that. But thank you, Freyalise, for that wondrous bit of insight. I shall take it to heart, and I'm sure it will come in very handy.
Good thing is they don't wander off.
Excellent. Do they also have a proclivity of falling from trees? He just grins at her.
Frey goes to object. They do.
Excellent. I am apparently quite adept at catching them. Yeah, I've even made a lifelong friendship from catching falling gnomes. So
Pretty worth it.
the future is bright, you see, or something along those lines. So, how's your orange juice? I've never tried juice.
Orange juice is really nice. It's really refreshing. You should try some. How's
What's
your drink?
what's in it? I can see that it's orange, but what's in it?
Orange.
They make a drink out of color?
No, the fruit. The fruit.
There's a fruit that's a color?
Frey's gonna use minor illusion to show just a picture of an orange.
The fruit? Yep.
Yep, the fruit.
It looks like someone took orange pigment and just went dot. Is that really a fruit?
Yeah. It's weird, isn't it? They named it out of. Did they name the fruit out of the color, or did they name the color from the fruit? That's the biggest question.
Wow. And Maurius is going to minor illusion this other thing that he's heard of once or twice called an apple. And he goes, so this is a red?
Oh, no. It's a red apple. Fruit doesn't make sense. There's a blackberry and a blueberry,
There's a blackberry and a blueberry.
but then there's a
And it's
strawberry.
orange, but this one's called an apple.
Mm-hmm.
And it's strawberry. What? I saw this thing one day at the market. It was kind of long and yellow, and there were like 4 or 5 of them in a group. Is that called a yellow?
Oh, those are called bananas. You can make some really nice banana bread out of it.
Why? Why are fruits so weird? I'm just going to stick to drinking mud shakes. It's much easier than all this fruit nonsense.
As this is going on, Freyalise, with your insane passive perception, you do happen to notice that the bartender has temporarily left his post as well.
Yeah, it's weird.
What? What's weird? Yes, we're already discussing the fact that fruit is weird.
But what's the point on having a barkeep if they're just gonna go away?
And he comes back through one of the doors out there.
Oh, well, they're back. Never mind.
Well, his job is to keep the bar. I would hope he'd come back. Curious. Well, where did he go?
Well, probably just to check on something. Maybe he needed a thing of fruit.
Maybe. I mean, we're not being particularly quiet about this conversation. We've probably got all these people hungry for fruit now.
Oh, did you know that there's a fruit that gets mistaken for a vegetable?
As you're having this conversation, it does indeed appear as though you made Mish somewhat hungry, as in one big meaty paw he holds up the length of a banana and just
Yes.
Before he sort of... It's all gone.
Oh yes. See now he's eating yellows. It's good for you.
Hello, OM. Yes.
But yes, tell me more about this fruit that gets mistaken for a vegetable. Is it called a fruitable?
No, it's called a tomato.
A
You
tomato.
don't put them in fruit smoothies, which is so weird because it's classed as a fruit. But then everyone takes up arms as soon as you put it in like a fruit salad or something. Oh yeah, there's fruit salads too that don't have any salad.
You just kind of watch as Maurius's eye like twitches a little bit. They make food from other perfectly good food. I mean, I can understand making things from ingredients like bread or cooking meat, but fruit, you can kind of already eat it. Why bother making edible food from edible food?
That is because it makes it taste even better with different things.
What?
Mm-hmm. It's like an apple pie.
Apple what?
An apple pie.
You see that Mish, the ogreish, has pulled out a pencil and a bit of paper, and without trying to sound like he's eavesdropping, looks like he's scrawling down notes.
You and me both, buddy. You and me both.
If you were to read his notes, you would understand that he's writing down things like "bananas taste better with lettuce?" ?
Oh no!
Yes.
Oh no!
Tell me more about this apple pie.
Frey's gonna put her hand in her pocket. She's going to make a slice of apple pie, and she's just gonna place it down.
Apple pie.
Maurius takes out this like tiniest fork and just like breaks off the tip of the bit of pie and gently puts it in his mouth and just chew, chew, chew. Oh yes, this is quite exquisite. I mean, it's not a scone or a mud shake, but it's quite something. It's got that sugary kind of sweetened taste, and there's this kind of a savory taste from the pastry. And is that a hint of cinnamon? Lovely bit of earthy spice there. Wow. Frey, if you can make more of these, you should go into business or something. This is incredible.
Frey's gonna think back to all of the biscuits and the cakes that she has made with her gift.
Which have been a few.
I think it would not benefit going into business. They always seem to leave people still hungry.
And Maurius just like looks at the fork, puts it down on the table, picks up the rest of the piece, and just starts like just chewing on it like it's a hot dog or something. Just I don't know why. They're simply delicious.
Excuse me.
Like putting lemon in things.
Lemon. Have you heard of that color? Or are we talking about vegetables or still fruit?
Still fruit.
Right. There's a fruit called a lemon and a fruit called a banana and a fruit called an orange that's also a color but not a fruit called a tomato. No, a fruit is a tomato. A tomato is not a vegetable, and lettuce doesn't go well with tomato, but lettuce does go well with tomato. What?
Yes. Fruits are weird.
I think I'm changing the title to Maurius's Morning Musings.
Fruit is very strange. Are you sure you've got that information correct?
Mm-hmm.
It's just so outlandish.
That's what makes it really good.
Oh, I see. The less believable, the more enticing. I get
Some
it.
some
Yes,
things.
yes, and that's why
You,
I have a magical horn that grants wishes when you shave it with an apple.
you that's so weird.
Is it, though? Is it?
I mean,
You folks are weird.
Oh, yes, my good man. How long have you been standing there? Are you ready to? Are you wanting to take our order or replace our drink or something?
Oh, I just figure if you want another drink, you come order one. But I, I got distracted with a horn that you shave with an apple, which doesn't really seem possible. But that's a sharp apple or a really soft horn. I don't know.
Well, I mean, I mean, just look, and he's gonna dip his hand into his pocket, pull out some dirt, like make a horn kind of motion on his forehead, and just mold it into a tomato using mold earth, and hand it to Mish. Be like, yes, see, you wanted for it, and now it's here.
Wait, the horn became an apple. I thought you were shaving a horn with an apple.
No, I shaved the horn with the apple, and then the horn became a tomato, which is apparently a fruit. But don't put it in a fruit salad.
Right. Yeah, no, fruit salad should be reserved for bananas and lettuces. Got it.
Bananas and lettuces, you genius man!
Yeah, I
Ah,
thought so.
Frey, you will have to remember that one. Bananas and lettuces for a good fruit salad.
Frey's gonna try to hold back a chuckle out of respect. I suppose that that's true. I will keep that in mind.
If we keep staying here and talking to Mish, you may have to change the stream title to Dumb, Dumber, and Comparatively Genius.
Well, no, that's what I mean. I was already looking at Morning Musings becoming the new title. Yeah.
But I think, after we've finished our drink and had a bit more of a conversation, we would be moving on.
Conversation. All right. So your time here at the Plucky Canary for old time's sake is done.
Yes.
It's been a while actually
Oh,
since you guys have come back
no.
here.
It has.
Yeah.
It has.
Oh, all right. So this time of the day, you've had the odd dwarf and even the odd shock hammer that's come through to sort of pick up, something to see them through the day, I guess. Something to put a little fire in their blood. But as your conversations draw to a close, and you sort of get up to leave, Mish does sort of give you a bit of a nod. You do note that the tomato you gave him is still sitting down beside his scribbled letter. He hasn't actually had it. You get the impression maybe he's saving that to put with a salad later.
Oh no.
It's all right. It's all right. He's going to learn very quickly why tomatoes don't go on fruit salad, then, isn't he?
Quite possible.
This is made of dirt.
Yeah, what is? Yeah. So you exit the Plucky Canary back out into the streets of the Uren district. Where to for now? What?
We'd be getting back on the path to the Laren district.
Okay. So you do know that this underground cavern is basically the size of the Uren district. So to skip by a lot of the Uren district itself, you can go through the relatively straightforward streets, here, and up one of the stairs surrounding one of the pillars to get back up to ground level, and you'll be right near the gates between the Urin district and the Lyran district. In fact, I think that's very, very close to where the Wizard's Axe was. The Wizard's Axe was almost sort of diagonally opposite where the Plucky Canary was in the Urin district. So as you do, again with a relatively decent sort of a perception score, you do note that there are quite a number of the shock hammers out and about. And they all, much like the Aurora Watch from the Summer District, are all walking in groups. But you make your way through the streets, which aren't particularly busy. There's a few people around, but you see it's more people sort of zipping from one place to the next. It's that you got a lot of the dwarves that are starting their, this is their morning, and whilst they're a little reluctant to rise, once they get up and they get going, they are on the way to whatever it is they are going to do with some form of alacrity. But yeah, you come to one of the pillars that leads up back to the Lyran district. I believe the one closest to the Wizard's Axe was a large elven warrior, sword and shield raised up high, and so the pillar courses around this statue. The stairs course around this pillar, taking you back up to ground level. And sure enough, you do see not far from where you come out the ramp and back onto the streets, a little bit further to the south, which is actually about the furthest south in the Urin district you've been. You see the gates to the Lyran district, where you have a pair of shock hammers on this side, and you can just make out on the other side a pair of, there's one elf and one human, both wearing what looks like a green and blue slashed tabard, which goes most of the way down past their knees. One has a long curved sword, and the other one's got a spear. But they're not, much like the Rubrum Cascade and the Aurora Watch had been watching each other aggressively, these guys are just doing their normal sort of, we're just at the entrance of the districts, man. You progress on through?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
We'll give the shock hammers a wave on the way past.
Yep. And you get a pair of curtain odds back. They don't know you. They don't care for you. You're obviously moving on your way. That's what they care about. But as you step through the gates, the two on either side do sort of, take a brief little look and sort of size you up before just immediately going back into probably a more relaxed stance than you might imagine, given some of the things that are going on in the city. And immediately you begin to notice that each district you've gone into has its own sort of unique appeal to the rest of the city. The Lyran district, from the moment you step through that gate on the high Urin wall, you're struck with the fact that whilst the street is still stone, it has taken on, very much like the guards' tabards, the stone itself seems to be almost a crisscrossing of blue and green colorations. The buildings around you are of a very different style of architecture. They're a lot, they're not taller, but it's almost, everything's got like a spire or a little sort of pointed tower. And some of these towers are on a lean or on an angle, or everything is not symmetrical. Everything's got this weird sort of twisted sort of quality to it, but in any direction you look, you see this weird overlapping of what one might be in the foreground twisting one way, and there's one further back in the distance that's twisting a different way, that gives it this strange sort of, whichever place you're standing and looking, there's this weird sort of 3D, I mean, of course it's 3D, but this weird sort of twisting image picture that kind of creates something more pleasant to the eyes as a group of things, as opposed to a single individual unit. All of the buildings are white. Like, they seem to be made out of this white stone. And all of the stone seems to have been designed in a way where it almost looks like the stone's been braided. So it's got swirls sort of going up and spiraling up into these spires. And if pressing forward, it doesn't take too long before the stone walkway you're on takes on a very different feel. You're no longer walking on stone, you're walking on wood, and it's a white wood. And it has that same intertwining, intersecting look to it that the buildings do, almost like just the wood's been braided together. The street itself narrows just a little bit, and on either side of the street, fronting each one of the buildings, is grass. And it's been cut very short. And most of it is that very vibrant green that, especially you, Freyalise, coming from Lyra, this feels very familiar. There are patches that look like little like as a bit of wind will whistle through, and the grass shifts ever so slightly. It goes from that vibrant green to an ever so slight sapphire blue, and then it go back as the wind shifts it back the other way. There are more of this wood that emerges out of the ground that grows up and into a curve, and as it dips back down at the end, there's this large sealed up bulb, and these intersect this, at different intersections along the streets. You'll find these long curved sort of, almost like a lamppost in modern world for a kind of a parallel, and even in the odd place in between buildings, that same white wood has created benches. And you see the odd individual that might be reclining on one of the benches, and people who are walking along the grass as opposed to the wooden walkway. And many of them have no shoes on. They all appear to be very relaxed and going about their business. But the chimes are still faintly in your head and pulling you further into the Lyran district.
Maurius stops for a brief moment and takes his own shoes off and just keeps walking.
Yep. And the wood is warm to the touch. It's
underfloor heating. Nice.
Much like the Varsian district also has heated ground, but that's stone. This is wood, and it's a very different feeling, but it's still a very comforting feeling. This feels almost natural, whereas the one in the Varsian district, it's weird walking on warm stone when the area you're in isn't actually really all that warm. Like it's kind of odd. Here, it just feels natural. And that's a lot of what you're getting for the vibe of the Lyran district. This is everything here, even though it's kind of created in this design that you would expect to see in cities and civilizations, it's done in an almost natural kind of a way, with its own sort of flavor. But as you progress through the Lyran district, you do see many intersecting streets. Many of them have the same wooden walkway that dissects out the same grass that patches up. You walk through a couple of very small parks. All have these same white wooden structures that come out of the ground. There's the odd one that has these odd complex geometric shapes that you see some kids playing in. Dangling from some of the wood and then, moving across to another one, others running on top of them. Some of the buildings, some of the spires have wood growing out of the side of them and then intersecting over the top of the street, forming almost like these walkways between the buildings. But where the wood meets, it's grown out into this lattice-like design hanging over the street. And it doesn't take too much longer for both of you to start hearing the chimes. Even Frey. And whilst you, Maurius, may not know that you're hearing it in your ears as opposed to your head, Freyalise, this is very much a new sound for you. Whilst you heard wind chimes while you were, progressing towards and around the bastion between, this is a very different kind of a wind chime. Like, there's no jarring jangle. There's almost just a softness to this. And moving through, it gets just not obtrusively so, but ever so more present as you move through. Have a drink.
Very.
Sorry.
The ambient sounds are really nice, aren't they?
Speaking of ambient sounds.
Ambient sounds? You mean... Wait. Can you hear the chimes?
Hmm? Yeah, mm,
You can hear them too? We must... Wait, we must be getting close. I've been hearing them for, well, weeks now.
oh,
They've been leading me to them. This was my pressing issue.
well, let's keep going. Let's see what you've been hearing.
And Maurius just picks Frey up, plops her on her shoulder, and just runs.
Oh,
Okay.
jeez.
It runs. Okay. So you do get the odd look from some of the people around at this rather large, bulky, uh, bulky orc-like figure charging through the streets barefoot with a gnome on his shoulder. And is that sound coming through? Oh, you guys probably can't hear it through Discord. Never mind.
Yeah, it is.
It is? Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And it really does not take long before the walkway that you're on comes to an end. The street you're on comes to an end. And it opens out into a massive plaza, all of grass. You see, various other streets all end here. All roads lead to Rome. And this place is huge. And dominating the center of this plaza, a tree. A tree that is the size unlike anything you've seen of a tree before. This thing is hundreds of feet high. And it almost kind of defies the fact that you have not been able to see it approaching as you've approached. But it's the weird twisting designs of the architecture here almost seems to have been deliberately made that way to shroud this plaza around it. Almost the opposite of the Varsian district, where everywhere you go, you can see the ziggurat of the Cerulean Dawn. Here, until you are here in this plaza, this tree is hidden. And this tree is made of the same white wood you've been treading, the same white wood you see the buildings made out of. The ones with the dangling bulbs, the benches, and it's on a slight rise. And around that rise is a large pond, almost like a series of waterways coming out from it. Little islands connect, and more wooden bridges that connect these little islands. Some of them have got the arched design with rails. Others are flat, straight across the top of the water. There's even the odd one that you can see that is sunk half an inch or an inch under the water so that it looks like people are walking across the water as they go past it. And this plaza has more people in it than you've seen so far in the Lyran district. Because quietly you have been hearing the Lyran district has not been particularly involved or active in a lot of the stuff going on in Cascorn lately. And just for the sheer number of people you've seen, you're kind of beginning to understand that. The Lyran district's huge, and it is old, but it just seems almost absent of people until you arrive here. Now, the wooden tree that goes up hundreds of feet, all of its branches that come out are sprouted with these leaves, and these leaves are the same sapphire blue that you've seen as the grass shifts. And the leaves, as they rub together, that's what's creating the chime. Almost as you're in this plaza, you can hear a kind of almost a harmonious melody to it that at a distance it sounds ever so slightly like a chime, but now that you're here, there's this soft, continuous tone to it that shifts just a little bit. The leaves themselves, like the branches, come all the way out over the plaza. The tree is huge. And the branches and the leaves come out almost all the way out to the edges of the buildings. And even just looking up, it doesn't block out the sun. The sun seems to go through these leaves, and they appear to have an almost glass-like quality to them, which might explain why there's a chiming sound when they rub together. But everything here is very peaceful, very serene. The tree is impressive. And everybody here just seems to be very much at peace. You get a few people playing, but there are other people just lounging in the grass, completely seeming to uncare too much, uncaring about a lot of what's going on. I will get both of you to make an intelligence check as well.
I look at the tree. Father? No. Intelligence check, natural 20.
Hey! Natural 20, baby!
21.
21. Damn, son. Frey, how'd you go?
I got a 19.
Oh, wow. Oh, this is easy. This sense of serene, this peace, this calm, you've both felt an element of this before. Crossing the Seven Lords Lake.
Oh.
There was just this projected sense of ease, like this is okay. It is okay to relax. And this tree has that same sort of feeling projecting out from it. Just the softness of the grass, the warmth of the wood, the sun shining through the glassy leaves, and then just the rubbing together of the leaves to create that melody. Everything here just feels at peace, and it reminds you heavily of your time on the barge crossing the Seven Lords Lake. Thanks, OMGM. I like your world building too. I'm so glad they finally got to come to the Lyran district. It's part of the reason I want these guys to leave the city. There's so much to see it there. Trust me, if they'd come here at night, all of the bulbs would have been open, and you'd see these flowers that glow to actually light up the streets. Yeah, and the same on the trees, on the branches of the trees. The bulbs actually open up to glowing flowers, which light up the area.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, yeah, you both recognize this feeling, this sensation, and it is kind of just, there's just peace. There's just calm. And it is, if not completely obvious, this is where the pulling for you has come from. That silhouette that you've been seeing in your dreams, Maurius, it's this tree. This massive embodiment of nature. Yeah, Huggy Cleric. Yes. I will be doing guests at some point for different things. And if I do more Syleria side stories, which I plan on doing. Anyway.
And I will be happy to keep providing you opportunities to do so.
Oh, I know you will. I'm already looking at the amount of things I shelved for ideas that I had for this. And then it's just kind of like, we're not done telling Maurius stories. We can get there.
Yeah.
All right. So, with this, what would you like to do?
Maurius is going to just put Frey down very gently, and then just move as close to the tree as he can.
Okay. So you get the odd few looks. Nothing, aggressive or, disturbingly inquisitive. You just get the odd sort of person looking up and seeing this this crystal-bound orc-like figure walking. I take it you're in your armor. Yeah, walking barefoot.
Yep.
Across the grass towards the tree. Freyalise, you accompanying?
Yeah.
Okay. And you get to the edge of the water. And you are going to have to traverse a few of these bridges if you'd like to try and get as close to the tree as possible.
Yeah, why not?
Okay. It's a relatively direct route. Whilst from here it looks like it could be a confusing mess of moving between one of these little islets and another, it really doesn't take too long for you to understand. It just looks like it's a little confusing. Like the moment you move to one of the little islets, you immediately see where you've got to go, which bridge connects to which islet, which one you need to cross to get to the next. And it takes maybe 3 minutes or so for you to cross over this expanse of water to get to this slight rise where you're not far away from the trunk of the tree, the white wooded tree. You do see as you've sort of come off the islet, there is this tiny little, and it's out of place because it's not made of white wood. It seems to have been made out of a almost more like a walnut kind of a coloured wood. This small little shrine that's been placed in front of the tree, and prominently on the front of it is the image of a harp, a full, not a half harp, like a full harp. And if either of you would like to make a religion check.
Well, being a paladin and cleric,
I mean, yeah.
yeah, why not? I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
You might like to as well, because it's garbage. Garbage. Oh yeah, that was garbage. 9.
9? Ooh. Ooh. Freyalise, are we saving this?
Oh, yeah. Frey would be interested because it's a shrine.
Yeah. It's quite clearly a shrine. Like, there's a little bowl with some flowers in the front of it, and a couple of little bits of fruit, not vegetables, but fruit.
The dice I dropped on the ground landed on a 16. Damn.
Oh man, if only you had inspiration, right?
I know, right?
That is a 17.
17? This is easy though. The DC was 10.
Drat! I missed it by 1.
Yeah, the symbol is very, very clearly, very obviously for if we're just going to go with Maurius is slightly distracted by finally coming across this thing that's been in his mind for a while. We'll just go. He didn't see it at all. It is the symbol. Sorry.
Am I getting the sound twice, like through my ears and in my brain?
Not anymore.
Oh,
It
no,
is,
okay.
like the sound, you're only hearing it once, but you don't know whether it's in your ears or in your mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, because that would be distracting as hell.
That would. But the thing being, you wouldn't be getting it as an echo. You'd just be getting it simultaneously, which would be maybe even more distracting. Who knows? This symbol is the symbol of the Keeper of Songs and Inspiration. So this is a keeper that is much like the Summer Realms, like they're named after the Keeper of Summer. And so the Keeper of Summer is their primary deity, much as I don't want to use the word. Lyra doesn't have one. But if they did, the Keeper of Songs would be one of their primaries. They love their music and their art, and even when they march to war, a lot of their weapons are also based off musical instruments. They create music when they fight, and the Keeper of Songs is just kind of a natural fit for who the Lyrans are. But it's the only thing that strikes you as, like, that doesn't seem out of place. The only thing that strikes you as odd is the fact that it's made out of a different kind of wood. Like, this tree, its roots seem to have been buried deep into the ground and have created much of this district. As the roots have sprouted up and intertwined and created all of these shapes and these things that are here, this is just different. But you are here at the base of the tree.
I give a quick look around to see if anybody's like watching us or looking upset that we're this close or anything.
I mean, make a perception check.
Are you kidding me? Why couldn't I have got that last time? Let's say 19.
19. There was one elderly, sort of half-elf. No, actually, sorry, elf. He's an elven gentleman who has on a long sort of an ivory robe, who is sitting sort of cross-legged, not far from this little shrine. And while he has sort of this very peaceful smile on his face and his eyes are closed, you do kind of note that as you sort of stepped up towards the tree, his head did shift slightly in your direction, as though he heard you. He acknowledged that you're there, but he hasn't sort of come out of his reverie.
Okay. So if nobody's like looking like they're going to move to try and stop us doing anything or anything,
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to gently reach out my hand and close my eyes to touch the tree.
Okay. The tree's warm. Wood is rough.
Just like the rest of it.
Yep.
Nice.
It's vibrant. It is full, absolutely bursting with life. You stand there. And?
And he'll just quietly whisper, "Why did you bring me here?"
Okay. Frey, what are you doing?
Frey's just gonna be. She's just gonna be looking at what Maurius is doing, but she's going to pay respects to the keeper, and she's just gonna keep an eye on what's going on.
Okay. Well, Maurius, as you're doing this, you feel a brush on your shoulder. And one of the branches has sort of bent all the way down and has lightly touched you on the shoulder. And you note that the blue leaves, they do have this almost glassy-like feel, but they're not sharp. And they've spread out almost like fingers. There's sort of these 5 leaves at the end of a branch that's sort of holding onto your shoulder. 2 more sort of bend down in front of you with more of the leaves that begin to spread out and shift until they create a face. And it just looks at you. The chiming that you know you're hearing in your ears changes just to you as you hear the chimes start to create noise in your head. Almost like they're trying to find something, like a way to communicate. And then a voice with a jingle comes through your head. Like, "I've been wanting to meet you since you were woken. I'm so glad you're finally here. Would you like some tea?"
You know, that's the most gracious offer I've had since awakening.
Take a seat and close your eyes.
He sits down just in front of the tree, cross-legged, and closes his eyes.
Okay. Freyalise, you do notice the elven gentleman has finally opened his eyes and is looking directly at Maurius, but he's doing so with a big smile on his face. Like it's not that it's out of the ordinary, but this is almost like isn't unexpected. What are you doing as Maurius sits down and closes his eyes?
Frey's still gonna just sit quietly, like stand quietly and just. She has her hands clasped, as she was probably taught
Yep.
in a respectful place, and she's just going to just remain there.
Okay. You do feel these branches, Maurius, as the one on your shoulder sort of comes across your chest a little bit and up over the other shoulder. And there's no pressure, but you just sort of feel it there. And then there's a pair of roots that come up out of the ground and just lay. They don't bind, but they lay across your legs. And you close your eyes. And there's just quiet. You can hear the melody still. And then the same voice. Well, you can open your eyes now.
He opens his eyes.
You are sitting cross-legged on what would amount to one of those wooden benches in a soft blue space. There's no walls, no real ground. It's just a space. And just in front of the bench is a wooden table. with a cup of tea. And seated on the other side, on a bench their own, a figure, almost elven, but not quite. Female, has almost like golden glassy skin. Big smile on her face, her eyes, they're not quite white, they're almost this clear shining diamond. And as she sort of smiles at your presence, you sort of see the faceted look of that smile sort of crinkle across her face without shattering anything. Just the face just shifts in a just to accommodate the expression. And she nods as she holds her own little cup of tea, and she nods at the one just in front of you.
Yes, thank you. And he picks it up and sips it gently.
I felt like it's been so long. I felt you awaken, and I've been calling out to you ever since. I'm so glad you're here.
Are you like me?
I think I'm more like a spirit. I think there are, elements of who we are that are similar. But I can't walk the world like you do. I'm here, and here is where I stay. It's why I was trying to get you to come to me.
Are there others like me?
Up until a short time ago, no. I have been watching and waiting as slowly my children have evolved and grown. And you, Maurius, are that next step in their evolution. You will not be the last. But there is another like you now. And soon there will be more.
Your children, you're the mother of crystal beings? You're the mother of these? And he points at the jewel on his forehead, which is the protectors reprieve crystal.
Right in the forehead, that's right. I forgot where you put that one.
Yeah.
In a manner of speaking, I'm trying to find the words. It's been a very long time since I've communicated with words. I look after the crystals. They are born from the blood of the earth. They are Syleria. And I guess I made it my duty to try and help them reach their potential, I suppose. They're changing and adapting, much like most living creatures. People don't understand what they truly are. But now they are reaching a crossroads in their journey where they're stepping out from being more than a tool. They're going to let the world know that they're living creatures like everything else. And I want to allow them that chance. You can call me their mother if you would like, but I don't really know what my relationship to them is.
Okay. I'm sorry. This is a lot to take in. I have thought I was alone for the last weeks, only to now find out I'm not. You said you've made it your duty to help them grow and protect them.
I want to see them achieve what I know they are capable of.
What if I wanted to share those goals?
I was kind of hoping you might. I can't walk the world like you can, but as one of the first I was hoping, I suppose, praying isn't the right word, but it fits, that you might want to do that.
During my short time being awake, I've seen pain, I've seen growth, I've seen hardship and strength. I've felt these things too, and I feel I've been lost almost, like I've been feeling them for nothing. But it's all led me here to meet you. There's something telling me I should be feeling these things as a strength, as part of protecting what I am and who I am. I want to protect.
And if you would take that on, I would be delighted. It is not an easy road. It will not be easy. You will be helping to protect and guide a race into a new era of existence. They will be scared and the world will not know what to make of them. But if you are willing to be able to help give them at least a chance, I would be honored if you would.
Other beings of this world sought to utilize, shall we say, me when I awoke. I would not see them do that to others, to drag them round in cages, to treat them as I was treated. I would not wish that on anyone, and if I can prevent it, I will.
Good. Because I fear that is going to be the fate of many of your new kind. Unless we have some of you step up and take the initiative.
I'm ready. I will stand for and with you to protect my new brothers and sisters and to guide them, to help them grow and to explore. And most importantly, I'm ready to stand in front of the world and help them know and recognize and trust our kind, my kind.
As long as you do not give up your own journey. Stay true to who you are. Explore, see the world and experience. But when that duty calls, pursue it to the best of the means you have available. I don't think anybody could ask anything more of you.
I have been fortunate in my journey to make amazing new friends, one of whom even came with me to your tree. I will do what I can to provide others the same luxury, the same benefit. but I won't lose track of my own journey. For I am still young also, and still also have a lot to learn.
She just
Is there
nods a little bit.
is there anything I can do for you? Any way I can help now?
There is one thing, if you would. I know you're about to set out on a journey, but I spoke of the fact that you are no longer the only one of your kind. There is a newly awakened one here in the city. But their spark is weak. It is fading. I know where, but I do not know why. I can feel their presence, but I cannot connect with them. If I guide you to them, do you think you could help them?
My friend says my witness, I will do what I can. It's strange to say that since they're not here, but I know they can still feel my conviction. I think that's something friends can feel. I'm still learning, but I will do what I can if you can show me the way.
Connections are powerful things. In fact, connection is exactly what your kind are. She sort of stands up from the bench, and you realise she's an exceptionally tall figure. She's sort of cresting close to 10 foot high. And it was not apparent as she was sort of reclining on this bench. But she takes a couple of steps in this blue space around the table and kneels down beside the bench you're on. She goes, I will give you the location. There is also one other who can maybe guide you there. He is waiting, I think, with your friend. He knows the way to the location. She reaches up and just hesitates momentarily with her hand sort of just in front of the crystal on your forehead, as though she's just sort of waiting for you to almost give consent.
Maurius just leans forward like the smallest bit, saying like, yeah, it's okay.
Okay. And she just gently lays her hand, it doesn't touch, she just gently lays her hand on the crystal, and you feel that warmth spread through you again. And vision flashes, and you see, lying in a dark stone room on the floor with a small little bit of blood out of its side, you see a large bull-like figure, a minotaur. Seems to be lying on his side, breathing heavily. There is blood and all sorts of things all around, and the room is dimly lit. It's hard to see anything, but there is scratching, heavy scratching, nearby and in the vicinity. You get a feeling of being underground. And it's nearby, but it's to the east from here. And she lifts her hand away. It's like, you will have to be shown to the location. But that is the new awakened. I do not know how much longer their spark will remain.
I thank you for trusting me with this. Once I return to my friend and new ally, as you say, I will make haste to this newly awakened individual and help them the best I can. My friend is also in tune with the divine. Between the two of us, we should be able to assist somehow.
Thank you, Maurius. When you're done, you can return if you wish, but there are places throughout the world where you will see, and she sort of looks around at this blue space, even though there's not really much here, and then she looks straight down at the table and the bench. You will find places in this world where I touch it a little stronger. You can commune with me easily, I suppose. Thank you. I look forward, I think, to a bright future with your people.
I won't ask too much of it now, but do you know anything about before I awakened, who I was, where I was from?
I don't. But should you choose, those experiences, those memories, those thoughts, and she reaches up again and just sort of pats you on the head. Not condescendingly, but it's like they still reside within you. They are a part of who you are. You just need to find a way to access them, and if you want, I can help you with that.
I will first go help this situation that needs my attention. It'll grant me some clarity, I think, as to whether my previous past is of any importance at all. I am who I am now, and who I am has a job to do.
Then I hope to speak with you soon. Good journey, Maurius. And thank you.
Maurius just nods.
And she sort of just beckons for you to close your eyes.
Yep.
And when you choose to open them again, you find that the branches and the leaves have all retracted from you, and you are sitting cross-legged at the foot of the tree. Freyalise, unless she has been doing something else. Have you been doing something else, Freyalise?
Frey would have quietly said to the elderly elf,
Mm-hmm.
if this is a bother, please let us know.
If this is what, sorry?
If this is a bother, like if this is an issue.
He sort of turns to look in your general direction, and it's at that point you realize he might be blind. His eyes are sort of, glazed over, and the smile remains. It is no bother. We have been waiting, I think, for your friend to arrive. Kithiadis has been waiting. And I am merely here to facilitate her needs. Yeah, you never got her name.
Spell it! Spell it! No, I didn't.
I mean, the old man, when you come out, he will explain it to you. Kithiaris, so Kyathyaress. It is it's an elvish word, but it is tinged with some other language. and he explains that. I mean, whether this is to both of you or just to Freyalise initially, he explains that Kithiatis is roughly translated into common as friend to all. That all of the people of the Lyran district see this tree as a protector, a guide, a safe haven. Many of the stories told of the time around the Scourge War and ever since of this tree coming to our aid. And he will continue to ramble about stories of the past. But yes, he is sitting there and has been waiting for you, Maurius. Did you get the spelling for that?
I did, thank you.
Yeah. So that is the name of the tree. So he refers to the tree as a her and as Kithiatis. Whether that is actually the entity's name or not, don't know. But that is the name that is being used at this time.
Cool. So when Maurius snaps back to reality,
Snap back
oh,
to-
here goes gravity. Yeah. He'll
Got a great
jump up
magical item for
and
that.
yeah, he'll jump up and just like pick up Frey and just spin her in the air, and
Cute.
then like he's just absolutely overjoyed, and then he'll suddenly remember he's got a job to do and like plonk her down and be like, oh, yes, we've got to we've got to go, we've got to help someone. He's like me, she, he, they, them, it, like me, needs help. Apparently there's somebody here who can help us, lead us to them. You haven't noticed anyone being particularly chatty or moving close, Frey?
Frey's gonna look to the elderly elf and then look back at him, like at Maurius. I'm guessing this is the fellow that will help.
It is possible that I am the one you are referring to. Yes.
Oh, that's good, because I thought you were shaking your head, like you looked over there and then you looked back. I thought you were starting a head shake saying no. Excellent.
They've been waiting for you.
For some time.
Oh. I don't know how to tell you this, but I'm only a couple of weeks old. If you've been waiting longer than that, I'm afraid you may have... I don't think it was me you were waiting for. But I am here now.
Perhaps
and
I've just been waiting for someone. Whether it is specifically you or not, someone. You have been told what you need to be told by Kithiatis.
Well, I don't know if Kithiaris told me anything, but the lovely lovely lady in the tree told me that there was another being like me who needs assistance.
Yes. Kithiatis. I understand. You are ready to go. Is there preparations you need to make? I will guide you to where I have been shown I need to take you.
And Maurius just turns to Frey, and I'm not really sure how long this will take, and I don't want to, ask you to spend all your time chasing a personal errand with me. So if you wanted to head back to the Rusted Copper and meet up with everyone else, I wouldn't hold it against you or anything.
Frey's gonna put her hands on her hips. She's gonna look a little
shit.
bit.
Uh-oh.
Just a little bit offended.
Love it.
So you're telling me you've got this personal errand that is very interesting. You talk to someone in the tree, And you're saying to me that I'm going with you, whether you like it or not. You can't stop me.
Maurius just has this massive grin across his face, and he just picks you up and spins you around into a big hug. And then just pops you back up on his shoulder and turns to the old man and be like, "Okay, we appear to be ready to go."
Very good. Then let us move a little way from Gilyaris, and I will facilitate our transport. And he sort of very slowly gets to his feet, and then begins to shuffle away from the tree.
Maurius is like taking quarter steps behind him to stay to keep up. Like
Yeah.
they're like that impatient kid just like stuck behind a woman with a trolley or something in the supermarket who's just wanting to go.
Yeah. He gets down to the edge of the water, and then he just starts walking across. Like, he doesn't bother with the bridge. He just walks across the water and moves onto another islet, and then continues to move across the water over towards the far side of this large
Hold
pond-like
up,
thing.
like across the top of it,
Across
or
the top of the water.
what?
Yep. He's not worrying with the bridges. He is taking a straight path across, away from the tree.
Maurius is 100% gonna try and follow him, like step for step.
Your feet start immediately going down and into the water, and you realize very quickly you are going to get completely submersed and very wet very shortly.
Oh, he retreats and finds a bridge.
You also note, as you begin to cross the bridges to catch up with the old man, he may have been fucking with you, because he's well and truly standing over there waiting for you by the time you catch up. At some point, his pace quickened.
Maurius like breaks into a jog to get over there faster. He's kind of winded by the time he catches up.
He does give you a little bit of a smile. It's like, I'm sorry. It's always fun to watch people wonder if I'm actually as incapable as I look. Good show. Good on you. Yes. No. Yes.
It was less thinking you were incapable and more not wanting to get too far ahead because I don't know where I'm going. And then you started walking across the water, and I thought about following you, but it was getting really deep, so I had to double back and then take the bridges, and you are very sprightly. Good sir.
Like I said, appearances often are deceiving. And from a little slot, a little slit in the side of the robe, he reaches down, and you hear this little click, and he pulls out what looks like a flute, and he raises it up and just tones out a few small trills. And from the edge of the flute, a white cloud begins to emerge. And nobody around you reacts. Yes, it is a flute of summoning transport. Not quite those words. It's actually his magic. And you see a large white horse steed appear with what looks like a chariot behind it. A chariot that is large enough to hold all three of you. And he sort of steps up onto it with the flute still in his hand. And you can sort of very briefly, you can hear him still kind of humming the tune he made on the flute under his breath. With the religion check you made earlier, Freyalise, it's not difficult to tell that this man is probably a disciple of the Keeper of Songs.
Maurius just leans into the guy and holds like Freyalise away and just whispers, "Yes, I kind of promised my friend I could organize a horse ride for her. Would it be possible for her to ride on the horse instead of the carriage?"
I think that can be arranged. You might want to help her up, though. The steed might be a little skittish.
Oh, yes, of course. And Maurius is going to move to the horse and gently place Frey on its back, like stroking its mane making sure it's nice and calm.
The moment you approach this cloud-shaped, horse-shaped cloud, the head just whips around to see you approach, and then as you get in really close, it lets out a really faint sort of a neigh that's almost like it's a far distance away, even though it's right in front of you, before it just turns around and just resumes its initial position. And you hear the old man behind you chuckle. But
I cannot wait to tell Hetty about this.
without any sort of issue, Freyalise, you are placed on the back of this cloud horse. And the old man is holding his flute out in front of him, where you see that from either end of the flute, two cords, almost like reins, begin to emerge and head out towards the horse's head. And you can hear him just ever so faintly still humming under his breath, if you would like to take your place on the chariot.
Yeah, Maurius climbs up next to him.
All right.
Kind of listens to the song and tries to join in humming it.
Yeah. And with a slight whistle, not jarring, not loud, not shrill, just a slight little whistle, the mount takes off and the chariot is taken with you. No, I'm not. I was gonna get an animal handling check to see if Freyalise could stay mounted, but it's actually not going to matter with this because it's a magical thing. So my question to you is, before we continue, do you want to take a quick little break before we get into
Yes,
the rest of this? Yep. Okay. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So we'll do that. We'll take 5 or 10-ish, whatever it may be, and then we'll come back to whatever this is going to be.
Heck yeah.
Ah, lovely.
Awesome.
To all the chat, hello. How are you? Thank you for sticking around and being part of this. This music is likely to actually send me to sleep if I'm not careful.
You gave me another Chrysillin. I love it.
Yeah. Alright.
Okay, now I go.
Yeah. I'm just going to set this up. I'm going to mute myself. I'm going to leave the really weird ambient music on, and then I'll be back in a couple of minutes. See you shortly, guys. Haha! Boo! I have returned.
Boo! I have also returned.
Ah, greetings and salutations. Shouldn't be doing this while I'm doing a lot of talking and DMing, but I found myself a little bit of leftover Easter chocolate, so I'm having a little bit of Easter chocolate. Chocolate is not good when you do a lot of talking, but hey. Man, you wanted to go to the Plucky Canary almost kind of threw me a little bit. Almost. If it wasn't for the fact that that was one of the things I'd actually kind of considered as an option.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'd actually kind of considered that as a thing to do. And I discarded it. So I was like, oh. So I heard you say, oh, Plucky Canary. It's like, fuck. I didn't flesh that out, but okay. That was why I was, when I said there was some things I needed to look up. I was trying to remember which one of the two Ogrish had died. That was why that was part of it. Because I wanted to remind myself of who survived and who did not. And
Yeah, yep.
but I figured this was a much more fitting thing to do. Ah! Oh man. God, no, this ambient noise is... I could go to sleep to this.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
So I'm just going to remute the stream.
Oh, that's right. It'll be changing shortly enough.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
It'll be epic fight music instead. As we get to the Minotaur and he's completely insane because he doesn't know what's happening. And he attacks!
Nah. I wouldn't do that. Maybe. I mean, I might. This is me. Who knows?
I wouldn't have thought of it if you wouldn't do it. Oh, no, hang on. I'd do that.
Man, you know what? You made down the comment that Kithara is a musical instrument. I completely fucking forgot that.
Yeah.
I completely forgot that's a musical instrument. Alright, cool. I love it. Alright, once Freyalise is back, we'll get back into it. Oh man. Nice to have more of this back.
Definitely. Random, really off-topic thing.
Yeah?
That Stacklands game I was playing the other day.
Oh, yes. Yep.
It blew up. Like, people love it. So it's getting a massive update with like 50 to 100 new cards.
I saw something.
A bunch of other stuff as well.
Yeah, somebody else had mentioned something about it. So I was trying to... I didn't get into reading it, but somebody else made a comment about Stacklands blowing up.
Who's up on king? I'm the bone king.
What?
Who's up on king?
Tell me now.
I'm the bone king.
Here's the Moon King.
Jesus, toxic tree, mate. Yeah, lurk while Mel is on, but thought I'd pop... Oh, hey, dude. I appreciate that. And 5 tier 1 subs? Mate, you didn't have to do that. Thank you, though.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you, brother. That's so... Oh, my God. Look at that selection.
I know.
Gumstitch, Shotokan, Kaiser,
Dane, and
I'm
Zombie.
the bone king.
What?
And there we go, Toxic himself.
Tell me now. Here's the Moon King.
Toxic.
Nice.
You legend. Thank you, man. I appreciate that so much. You didn't have to, but thank you. Thank you so
I
much.
can't push
dude.
to talk and clap.
No.
So have a clap for yourself.
Yeah, you push to talk, I'll clap. Yeah, Gummy, Shotokan, Kaiser, Dane, Zombie, and Toxic. Oh, man. Yeah, thank you, dude. And I know you're just lurking, but thank you. The great stream, it's going well so far. Now we're about to get into some work. We've had the chill, we've had the calm. Now we're about to get into the chaos and the shenanigans. Except for learning that banana and lettuce might be an interesting combination.
Oh,
We've had the
gosh.
chill. Now time for
But if
grill.
Mel's on, I should actually probably go to lurk in her stream as well. I did not see the notification come up because I was live. But I'll go lurk in hers too. Cheers, brother. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's like only just gone live or something too.
She would have gone live while I stepped away. That's why I wouldn't have seen the notification. while I was away from the keyboard.
4 minutes live.
Yeah, she is. Yep. Oh, Resident Evil 5. Nice. Hell yeah. I'll just throw a lurk on hers and I'll come back to that soon.
Schroeder, congratulations on joining the crew of the normalcy.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, dude. Toxic.
I know you did that for the
kind.
Mash Effect thing, but that's sticking now.
It is, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I'm still kind of tempted to do more Mash Effect.
Oh yeah, Vix wants you to run another one.
Oh, does she?
'Cause she missed out on the last, yeah.
Ah, right. She's not said anything to me about that. Maybe she should. But alright. So we have a Freyalise back. We're not going to mess around too much more. We're going to get into it. But yes, congratulations, show to come. Thank Toxic Tree for that. What a legend. But yes. So, coming back into this, as your elderly, blind, flute-playing, cloud mount summoning guide, who you still haven't learnt the name of, takes you away from the plaza with the great tree Kithiaris to a destination. I'm getting distracted again. Hey Jay, how you doing, man? Welcome in. We are just picking back up off of our break. This is a campaign side story with one of our original main party characters who's had to step out of the campaign for a variety of reasons. We're doing a little side story with him and one of the other main character stories here, Freyalise.
This mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we actually did our prologue sessions, our session zeros together. So this is just
fitting.
getting back to
it's
just getting back to the start for us.
Because I mean, until
Out of a new journey with the same party.
Yeah, and I mean, until and unless Maurius sort of comes back to an area where the rest of the party is, this might be the last time these two characters journey together for quite some time. So
Yeah.
it's good to get one last little shenanigan adventure out of the way. But yes, hello Jay, hello, and yeah, Kaiser isn't Toxic a legend, right? But yes, as your elderly guide steers the mount out of the plaza and down one of the adjacent wood walkways in the Lyran district, he is guiding you further out to the east, which, given you have seen the map that Syleria had at one point, I think she left that with one of you. I can't remember who she left it with when she left, but out that way is another district you haven't been to before, the Torloon district. And it takes, especially on this mount, it's odd. Every time you're sort of going down this walkway and there are passerbys, the mount just kind of lifts up into the air and soars over their heads before touching back down again. It is quite literally just flying, but staying at ground level when and if it can. It takes you almost all the way to the edge, to the walls of the Lyran district, before he sort of slows down and moves it off down into an area that doesn't have one of the wooden walkways. It's just purely grass. And you do note that both the Cloud Horse and the Cloud Chariot, they don't leave any footprints or any marks on the grass as he steers it through this little side street. And he takes you almost all the way to the wall. 30, mate. Thank you. Oh man, 9 months. God, who would do that? Who would follow me for 9 months? Cheers, man. Appreciate it, brother. Was that Jay? A couple of players playing Foster Face siblings and did a prologue session. I love prologue sessions. They're just nice. It won't be the last time they play together, Jay. It might be the last time these two characters have the opportunity to share an adventure together for a while. It won't be the last time these two characters are seen together. I am almost certain of that because of the way shit happens. But it will just be the last time in a while. But yes. No, it is all good, Jay. I'm just, it's not something we've really explained or talked about much on stream. That's all like stuff we've talked about a little bit off stream. So it's just kind of naturally things that have happened. Yes, thank you for the sub, Birdie. And yes, his little cloud horse, cloud chariot, draws up to one of the walls from the Lirin district through the Torloon district, and as he sort of dismounts off the chariot, he directs you to perhaps help Freyalise off, unless Freyalise would like to attempt to dismount the cloud horse by herself.
Oh, yes, I would.
Hell yeah. You make an acrobatics or athletics check for me, please, hon.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez, oh no.
Acrobatics, let's go.
Let's go! Oh, you guys are all awesome.
That was a 16.
16? That's easy enough.
She is going to do a backflip.
With a 16 in heavy armor, you can do a backflip if you want.
You don't
Who's
have a
going
choice.
to
You start leaning over and you just go.
Alright, but yes, you do dismount, and if you choose to attempt to make a backflip with a 16, and the fact that the horse is appearing to be belligerent but truly is not, it will assist you in your attempt to do a backflip, so it looks almost graceful. You feel accomplished with a, with the slight hangover you still have.
Try it.
But the the old blind man does lift the flute up. He plays a couple more notes, almost the reverse of what he played the first time. And you see the clouds that form the mount and the chariot just immediately get whisked into the end of the flute, where he then puts it down through the slit in his robe and latches it, before he walks you over to a small section of a door that's fitted into the wall. He turns to you and says, "Down here is one of the entrances you're probably going to want to take. There is under the city, a sewer, of course. I believe the individual you're looking for is down there, and we don't really want to walk into the Torloon district to access one of their entrances. This will take you under the wall and into their little stretch of the sewer system. Good luck. I wish you the best. I can remain here if you would like, and provide you transport back wherever you would like, whether it be to Kith Yaris or your original place of coming from. Words are hard sometimes, especially when you're old."
Words are definitely hard, yes, and so is remembering quite often. I'm not entirely sure how to get back from here, so perhaps I would like to ask you to stay.
Very good. Now, they do normally keep this door locked. Are you particularly accomplished at opening locks?
Not locks per se, but definitely doors.
We break down doors.
Actually, no, I think I can manage. I should be able to manage without breaking the door.
Oh, very good. I should
yes.
leave you to it. And he immediately sort of drops down onto the grass, crosses his legs, closes his eyes, and just starts humming. And you sort of feel that hum build a little bit until he's not singing, but he's creating this melody with his voice box. And almost from out of nowhere, he reaches behind him and pulls out a container that would look almost like it would be a hat, but is not a hat, that he then places on the ground in front of him. And he looks over towards the two of you, and just, even with his sort of, glassed over eyes, just gives you a wink. He's pretending to be a busker or a homeless person.
Oh my gosh.
I flick a couple of copper into it to make it look a bit more realistic.
Yeah, because otherwise, what would an old blind man have any sort of use being in this particular little side street beside a sewer?
Yeah,
entrance?
yeah.
So
I'll flick him
Yeah.
2 copper and a silver.
Okay.
That'll do.
And he just continues to hum, and he allows you to attempt to make your way in. So, how would you like to approach D&D's greatest nemesis, doors?
I am going to mash as much dirt into the keyhole as I can.
Okay. Oh, we're going with this old trick. We're going with an old Simon Passamaquoddy trick, are we? Kind of. All right.
I believe I pioneered it. Thank you.
Well, yeah, it was your idea, yeah.
Yeah.
the Fennec adventure. All right. Okay. So that will involve, unfortunately, digging up a little bit of the grass and the soil here to be able to do it, unless you are carrying some loose soil with you.
I would like to think I've got some on me somewhere.
Probably. There's
Maybe
probably a heap of it residing in your pockets.
Yeah, my pockets, between my toes, because I've been walking around bare feet.
You've probably still got sand in your pockets from your time in Terragonia, let's be honest.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, that's all right. It's enough. It's not a huge amount that you managed to garner from all of that. If you wanted more, you'd have to dig some up. But you do manage to get a solid amount in and around the lock of the door.
I am going to use mold earth to shape it into the shape of the key.
I knew that was
Because I don't have Druidcraft or whatever it was Simon used.
yeah.
I have mold earth.
Yeah, Simon used Druidcraft, and I think I've done shaped water with Rudiger, and created an ice version, and they actually created a mold with that, and created a key out of the ice version, which was fun. So you know what? Sure. What we're gonna do? We're gonna get you to make a check with your spellcasting modifier. So it's your charisma, I believe.
Yep. 17.
17?
Yeah.
Alright, with a 17 and the amount of dirt that you had, I would say that you will probably be able to make a one-use key. You will be able to unlock this door. It's not an incredibly secure key, it's just designed so that people don't use this maintenance access door, arbitrarily. Because, sometimes sewers can be dangerous,
Okay.
especially in a large city. But yes, you do manage to make a serviceable key, and you do turn it, but as you try to withdraw it, the soil does kind of crumble in your hand. So that is, unfortunately, you're not going to be able to utilize that trick again unless you have more soil somewhere. But the door, this almost, not quite, it sounds, when the door swings open, it is squeaky, it sounds like it is rusty. It doesn't look rusty, but it just has that sound of, okay, there is humidity and moisture beyond, and it has not been a particularly well-oiled door. But it opens up, and there is one of the little set into one of the God, my mind's fading again. You set into one of the little fittings on the wall. You've got one of those little light crystals that you guys are getting used to seeing that does illuminate this immediate chamber. And you do see that just immediately on the side of the chamber and in this section of the wall, there's a set of stairs that very steeply leads down. You're not entirely sure because you've never been through this particular wall. You're not sure how thick this wall is, so you're not sure how far you'll have to traverse to get through and under into the Torloon district. But this is the only way forward. And what we're going to do...
If it's the only way forward, then we will traverse it.
Fantastic. That's what we're going to do. I'm going to stop that, and we're going to change the music a little bit, because that was a jarring shift. Yes. There we go. Okay. So, it is going to be rather dim light, unless you have either dark vision or a source of light yourself. You will be you will be in perpetually dim light going forward. So, keeping that in mind, do you have a light source or do you not require one?
I am going to cast light on the hilt of my pike sticking up over my shoulder.
Okay, so is this your standard pike or is this your terrestria pike?
No, this is just my standard.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. So we'll keep that in mind going forward. You are using the light spell. You're no longer in dim light. So this is all made of stone. Whilst the Lyran district had almost entirely wood construction from appearances, this wall, much like the Urend one and the Varsian one, is stone. And it is a little damp. up here. You can immediately get that waft of that smell, that unpleasant taste of the air that tells you you are in fact descending into a sewer. There's even from where you are the very, very faint splashing of water. But you progress down the stone stairs, and they are relatively steep and a little slick. Are you guys taking it carefully, or are you...
Oh, yeah.
You are going to take it carefully?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, because you're taking it carefully, I'm not going to require a check, because if you decided to move at a normal sort of a pace, you'd probably need a check to not slip on the stairs here. So you progress on down, and what the DM's going to do is he is going to change some stuff so that he can actually bring up the right screen on stream for people.
Ooh.
As you guys descend down into a small chamber, and you see before you there is a lit but low burning lantern in this stone room. There are a series of crates, and whilst initially as you descend the stairs it looks kind of like a dead end, the way the shadows play you can tell that the room then bends upon itself and does almost a U-turn where you might be able to find another exit. But here there do appear to be a number of crates that just seem to have been, again, mostly rotted wood, proximity to running water, I suppose. There are a couple of slightly sturdier chests, but nothing else catching your attention at this time. What do y'all want to do? I love the fact that I'm going for ambient music instead of music. It's great.
I'm gonna check the chest for traps.
Okay. Make an investigation check, sir.
3.
3. Man, that thing does not appear to be trapped.
Awesome.
Oh,
I'm gonna try open it.
Okay. It's locked.
Well, shit.
Yep.
Does it look like... Like, how does the chest look? Does it look like a fancy kind of
No.
businessy kind of chest, or does it look like a smuggler's kind of storage kind of thing?
It is a serviceable chest that is just... it's made out of almost like reinforced banded... it's reinforced wood. It's got bands of iron around it. It actually, the lock on it, it looks like it's well used, but it looks almost like this is the sort of thing that you would store, like, oh man, I mean, make an intelligence check for me.
Yes. My strong suit.
Yes.
5.
5. Having not really seen a smuggler's chest, it is just a solid wooden chest that has been reinforced in bands of iron that have all been riveted into the wood. The lock is heavy and dense, and the chest itself looks like it is very, very heavy. Not too sure otherwise.
Does it look like it belongs?
Yeah, it has the, I mean, even with intelligence of 5, like, I mean, it has the same sort of level of general kind of almost moist sliminess, I suppose, that you would start to expect from something this close to a sewer. Like, this thing's been here for a while, which gives you the impression that it is something that just belongs.
Okay, well, moving on.
Okay. Yep.
Unless Frey wants to do
Yeah,
something with
unless
it.
Frey wants to do something.
Slimy. No.
Slimy. No? You're not interested?
Even though she just wants to see what's in it, but she doesn't really have anything to.
So my question to you guys, do you want me to give you the Owlbear Rodeo link so you can move yourselves around? Or do you want me to do it so you guys see it on the stream instead?
Maybe the link. The stream's a little delayed.
Yeah, I'm deliberately zoomed all the way in, unfortunately, because this is being seen through my point of view. I haven't found out a better way of doing it. I can't use
Spoilers,
Fog of War. Yeah.
Spoilers.
Which is a real shame, but that is what it is. Alright, so give me a sec. What I'll do is we'll go back to the stream and we will temporarily switch back to the tree so that I can work magic in the background. Yeah, what we'll do is we'll do that. Because this way what I can do is this way I can hide things from you guys on the main map and I can just reveal them as we come across them. So if I do that, now I need to generate a link. It has been a while since I have actually run a game myself off this. Alright, so let's copy that. Oh, you little...
I was wondering why you were using my old character photo instead of the new one, but it's because I haven't given you a token for the new one.
Yeah, I did think about it.
I've just been looking for it. I was like,
yeah,
oh.
I did think about it. I actually think I've got it there somewhere. I just, as I was sort of setting
I
it all
haven't
up
made
just
it.
before stream, I was like, no, I think I did.
Oh,
You made a
okay.
you made a Hero Forge version of Maurius, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Okay, so
I just never made the token for it.
oh, this is going to be awkward because your camera's about to go silly as well. Because I need to generate the link here. Pop. Alright, so that's up in the Whitestone War Room. Then I can just move this back around again. The more I do this, the more I will get better at figuring out what I need to do. Alright, let's move that out of the way. Okay. Axbeak, join the party. I mean, I could have created a Fog of War before you guys joined, but that would then involve me removing Fog of War and doing everything else. So it's not going to be the most streamlined thing for me to do it this way. But
No worries.
that's all right. It's all a work in progress. I will also be describing things that are not on the map for one-shot reasons. Okay, how we doing? Axbeak left the party, but we've got a unicorn with us. Oh no, Axbeak's back. Alright, so let me know when you guys are good, and we'll keep pushing forward. What? Yeah, that's the image. Okay, so you want it? Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah, I'm sure I had one like that somewhere.
Yeah, I'd done the image, but I hadn't made the token. So
Right.
now
Whereas I
have.
think I'd made a token, so yeah, that's all right. Okay, cool. So we good? You're both in?
Yep.
Frey? Yes? Excellent. All right. So, Frey was doing anything with the chest, or are we both moving on?
She's gonna look at it and be like,
Slimy.
better not.
All right. Okay. In which case, moving around the corner, you begin to see the entrance into what you imagine is probably the sewer proper, with, you know, a waterway that seems to run directly ahead of you, and then off to the right there is this little grate that runs through what looks like a lowered portcullis door that seems to have sealed off the way forward, or the way that way anyway.
I guess we'll just continue the way we can go then.
Oh Yep. So continue straight ahead along the waterway. All right.
Yeah.
So, it isn't too long before this little stone walkway opens out into a large bowl-like room. You do see across the way that the water runs through into a small opening and then disappears. Whilst there are barrels and some broken wood on the far side and a makeshift walkway to your left, there doesn't really appear to be a whole lot here. It does look like there are a series of very old, almost like straw dummies that have been set up on the far side that have nicks and scratches and cuts and bits of things hanging off them. Almost like somebody came down here and just practiced beating up an inanimate object. You can't see too much more of use initially, but there is a way out to the right as well, around the far side. It will mean, unless you can come up with something, having to cross the water though, unless you want to go investigate something else.
And how far across is the water?
It's 5 or 6 feet. It's not overly,
Oh,
it's not overly long. The walkway is pretty narrow. That's the only thing. It would be landing accurately on the walkway would be the level of difficulty, more so than how far a jump that is.
Yeah. Well,
Thoughts?
I think our best bet's just to go over. Because we can see that it's dead end straight ahead of us.
Yeah.
Oh.
And being that it's got a little wooden bridge to the south there, looks like a dead end that way probably.
That's
Or
where all
another
the
waterway
little,
of some description.
that's where all the straw dummies and everything are.
Yeah.
Look like they've been wailed on.
Yeah. So Maurius is going to think we're going to go over, and he's going to. This is probably a very stupid idea.
Hey man, look at this group in your DM. We live for stupid ideas.
Maurius is going to take out his pike,
Yep.
lay it across the water, and then use his metal pike as a tightrope to cross.
Glorious. Absolutely
Oh,
fucking
glorious.
glorious.
Oh my God.
Glorious Maurius. Are you going first, sir?
No. I'm going to stand and stabilize it for Frey.
And this is a wooden pike?
Metal.
Okay.
It's fully metal.
Okay, the haft is metal as well. Good.
Yeah.
Freyalise, seeing your large magic man companion laying down this metal pike across this section of water, what do you want to do?
Oh, Frey's gonna actually brace herself because she thought that she was gonna get like picked up and thrown.
That was what I was expecting too initially. But yeah.
Yeah, like she's just like bracing herself, and then she slowly unfurls her shoulders and looks over at the pike, looks to Maurius and goes, "Oh, we're going through like that. Okay."
Are you going to cross it?
Frey's gonna attempt to cross it.
Okay.
And Maurius is going to stop her and be like, wait. He's going to brace the pike on the ground between his knees and feet, like kneeling down on it. And he's going to just rake his hand along the side of the stone walkway to gather up as much like dirt and sediment as he can, and summon it into another pike, which he's going to like couch under his arm to hold as like a railing.
Wow. Are you summoning your arms of Terrestria
I am.
to create a tight rope and a grip?
I am.
I love that so much. I love that so much. Alright, I tell you what, Freyalise, seeing all of a sudden these rocks just appear and begin to form the secondary pike, which you have seen Maurius do before. It all assembles, and you see Maurius trying to hold the secondary pike level, but slightly away from the one he's got clutched between his knees and feet. If you would like to cross, I will let you do an acrobatics or athletics check with advantage because of the rail. Oh, hey Dane.
Is a 15.
15? Yeah. If 15 was about the DC I was going to set for that.
We've never really talked about like how solid the weapon is. So I've always just kind of pictured it like a Titan weapon, where it's just solid but has bits like falling off it and floating around it.
Yeah, that's
I don't know if that was right or not, but
yeah, that's exactly the way I envision it. It very much imagine the Titan weapons from Final Fantasy XIV, and that's what the arms of Syleria would look like.
Okay, cool.
That's
cool.
It's not the inspiration for it, but the moment I was creating the idea of it, that was the image that popped into my head, and I went, yeah, that works. That's
awesome.
That's a perfect image for it.
Awesome.
So yes, Freyalise, tentatively you do cross, conscious of the running sewage water beneath your feet. And Maurius, I'm going to get you to do an athletics check for me. It's a low DC, but I want you to do an athletics check for me to see how much you can actually keep these stable and in place for Freyalise.
God is shining on us. 21.
21!
21.
Okay,
18
man.
on the die.
Man, you know Frey's a little hungover, and you really don't want to dunk your bestest friend in that sewage water. So you manage to cling on and create a pretty stable crossway for her. Freyalise, you make it to the far side. Maurius, what are you going to do then, Sunshine?
Maurius stands up, takes a deep breath, holds his summoned pike, his arms of terrestrial pike, in both hands, like a tightrope orca's counterbalance.
Yep.
He's going to take a deep breath and psych himself up with some guidance, and then he's going to tightrope walk it.
I thought he was going to pole jump.
You are going to tightrope walk over your unsecured metal pike across the water.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
That thing's going to roll like a bitch.
Whee!
Okay. You've given yourself guidance. Make an athletics or acrobatics check, your choice. I should make it acrobatics, I'll be honest, but I'll do it athletics or acrobatics with your guidance. See how you go.
Oh no.
Oh, I love
You
this.
know how I was talking about God smiling on me?
Not today. Not
God's
now.
laughing at you.
I have a +3 to athletics.
Mm-hmm.
My guidance was a 4,
Mm-hmm.
so that's 7.
7.
Oh no.
And my D20 was a 19.
Oh!
26.
26.
Oh jeez.
Oh, jeez, that's really good. So you step foot on your pike, and, it's not so bad as your first foot goes down. Your second foot's still on the stone behind you. And you have your tightrope, your arms of terrestria balance pole, clutching your hands, and you sort of take that second step, stepping off from the stone and onto the pike, and immediately you feel it begin to roll, because it's a circular rolling object. The blade at the far end does do a job of keeping it relatively stable, but it still lurches side to side, and immediately you realize, oh shit, and you take those 2 or 3 steps in very quick succession and manage to kick off to get to the other side without dunking yourself in the water. Make a really quick dexterity save, one of the two of you.
Hold up.
Okay.
Dexterity save! 16.
16. You manage to reach down and retrieve your pike moments before it slips into the water.
Awesome.
Yep. All right. You are both now across the other side of this pool of churning water. Well done.
I am going to just step over Frey to get back in front and
Yep.
just peer around the corner.
Okay. So you do see some more crates and another dimly lit lantern. There are some barrels over the far side of where you are. And whilst there is, as you can see on the map, a ladder, I'll need to move that down a little bit for the stream. You do see that it actually leads up to a hatch that has a bar across it. The tunnel also seems to continue to the left from there. What do you want to do?
Okay, well, I want to go check out this hatch.
Okay.
This is the bar. The bar's on this side.
There does appear to
hatch.
be a bar on this side. So it looks like whatever this one is, this is not meant for entrance from the other side. This is meant for egress from the sewers itself.
Okay, so it doesn't look like the bar could be opened from the outside.
Not from down at the base of the ladder. Not looking up and seeing what you can see. It doesn't look that way. But in this weird world of strangeness, who can tell?
Well, Frey, shall we stick our head up here or try and carry on round?
Oh, let's have a look-see at what is going on up there.
Okay, Maurius is going to climb the ladder.
All right. It's a metal ladder. It's relatively well secured to the wall, and it seems to have resisted a lot of the rusting and erosion that might have gone on. So it doesn't take much, up to the top, and you do see that it is in fact a sliding bar that can just be slid across and into a small little crevice in the stone wall, whereupon you should be able to probably push the hatch up. No.
I shall do
No.
all of what you just said.
Yeah, bring it down. Otherwise, if you pushed it up, what the fuck is the point in a bar? Man, my brain did not figure that one out very well. Alright, so you do that, and you go to bring the hatch down, and it does sort of come down a little bit, and then it also slides over to the side. So rather than having to back down the ladder, you can actually just slide it down and across, and it goes into another little slot where it holds it until you need it. Poking your head up?
Yeah.
Just out of the blue, just poking it up, not being careful at all. You just straight up doing it.
Well, I'll just stay at the top of the ladder for a minute and just look up through the hole.
Okay.
See what I can see there first.
It's a dark room, but if you've got light on the end of your pike, you could stick the light up and actually see if you can see anything. You're not getting much of a view from where you are on the ladder. You'd either have to create a light source in the room or poke your head up with the light nearby.
Yeah, I'll poke my head up.
Okay. It appears to be another little maintenance storage room, like that first one you entered. There is another door that is set against the wall that you can see a faint little bit of sunlight from, but not much else in this room. It looks like it might have been accessed from the Torloon side.
Well, since I am
exit.
a fantastic rogue, I would like to check for traps in the room.
Okay, so you're going up into the room?
Yeah.
Okay. Make an investigation check.
19.
19. Okay, so you don't see any traps. However, you are not surprised when a small little bit of slime seems to drop from the ceiling nearby. And it just narrowly misses you as it hits the ground beneath. And as it does hit, it then begins to start moving and undulating and starts to form up into an amorphous blob in front of you.
I yell for Frey to stand down there,
Mm-hmm.
to stay down there, and just draw my shield.
Okay.
Pike in one hand, shield in the other.
All right. Roll some initiative.
Math!
You're gonna go first.
15.
Yeah, I got a 2 with modifiers.
I got a 3.
Yeah, I got a 2 with modifiers, and I rolled higher than a 2. All right, aliens, run! So as this amorphous blob starts to sort of rear up, you sort of see these little tendrils coming out the side of it, and they sort of start unfurling like they're going to get ready to lash out at you. What do you want to do?
If it's looking like it's gonna start deciding to lash out at me, then I am just 100% going to drop a green flame blade on it.
Okay. Yep. So you make your attack roll. This is with your pike or your arms of terrestria.
My arms of terrestria.
Okay. Cool.
Yep.
All right.
God
So
damn
the stone pike, forms your hand, and you begin to summon a little bit of green flame energy around the end of it.
Okay, so that's a 20 something.
That more than hits. It's a bit of slime, guys.
Alright, now bear with me. It's a D10 for the arms.
Yeah, D10 sounds about right.
D
Run faster.
D8 for green flame.
Oh, of course, because you're level 5, so you get that damage.
Level 5!
Yeah, you get that
Damage
damage boost straight out the gate. Hell yeah. I haven't got any battle music for this. Oh, that's right.
So that's 10 force damage.
Yep.
Oh, wait, is it?
I forgot it was force. Damn.
I can't remember. Do the arms terrestria do strength damage as well?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so that's 13 force damage.
13 force, gotcha.
And 5 fire.
Okay, so 13 force and 5 fire.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. So your arms of terrestria sort of spike down to strike this weird undulating pile of slime, and as you strike into it, it recoils, and you see the tendrils that it has started to sort of form lash and begin twitching violently, but the fire doesn't seem to want to catch on this creature. It's almost like its slimy wetness had just immediately trying to extinguish that fire, but it does recoil violently from the attack.
It also needs to make a strength saving throw.
Oh, okay.
Or be pushed back. That's part of the arms of terrestria.
Oh, damn, I forgot about that.
With a save of 16.
Well, a 15 is not enough then. And it is pushed back 10 feet. And given the size of this room, that pushes it almost all the way back to the door.
Awesome.
Yep.
Now
Now what?
what? Now what, you say?
Yep.
I will Shield of Faith myself, and that's my turn.
Okay. How long Shield of Fate? That's an hour, isn't it?
I think so.
Yeah, nice. Okay. So your little magical barrier of rocks, I imagine, solidifies your skin a little bit more. Your AC increases by 2.
Yeah, I get some lovely stone pauldrons and some stone kneecaps. Yeah.
Yeah, just some extra bits. All right.
I'm pretty fly for a stone guy.
Freyalise, now you are not capable of seeing what he's taken a swing at, but he's definitely taken a swing at something. You see a flare of green fire flash through the room above, and you then see little bits of the element of earth, of rock and stone, begin to accentuate his earth elementalish nature even more. What would you like to do?
Well, since she doesn't know what he's swinging at and why he has more rock
Yep.
on him, she's not really gonna do anything. She's just gonna call up and be like, "You alright?
Okay.
You good, bro?
You good?
Good?"
You got this, mate? Oh, you don't need me. It's fine, bro. Jesus. All right. So you are just calling up to Maurius, see if he's okay, and that's it.
Yeah.
All right. In which case, it becomes the creature's turn. It's been knocked away from you, and you attacked it with a stone weapon, and it's hurt, but it suppressed the fire. So, Maurius, as you sort of physically hardened your body against this weird slime creature and whatever it might throw at you, you begin to see the little tendrils withdraw into itself, and then your mind is ratcheted in pain as you get a scream unleashed in your brain. I need you to make an intelligence saving throw for me, please.
Excellent. My strongest skill. -6. No. It's a 13.
13. That is enough. So, as that scream sort of begins to heighten up to beyond headache-inducing levels, you do manage to sort of, steady yourself against it. And wow, that is 2 1s rolled on 3 dice.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, what can you say? It's me.
That's
At half damage,
What
though,
could we say? Re-roll, re-roll,
No.
re-roll.
At half damage, you take 4 points of psychic damage. As this thing...
That other roll must have been really good.
6. This thing attempts to psychically crush your mind. Given that it has failed, it is going to spend all of its movement coming back up to you, though. So it is back up close within your range. And it's going... Yep, that's it. That's going to end its turn within melee range of you again.
Cool. And comms the
turn.
concentration check.
Yep.
Oh, and I dropped Shield of Faith. That's
Oh.
unfortunate.
Really? Damn.
Yeah, I rolled a 4.
Oh, damn,
Oh.
yeah, so under 10. Oh, Shield of
5,
Faith
yeah.
drops, yeah.
Oh, now I've only got an AC of 19.
Yeah, this thing would have struggled to hit you at your normal AC. With an AC of 21, I would have needed to roll like a 19 or a 20.
oh my god.
So,
Alright, so
yeah.
back to me, is it?
Yep, back to you. This thing has done all that it can do now that's been knocked 10 feet away from you. Its instinct has just been that. You'll go.
Awesome. I'm just gonna rinse and repeat and just smack him with my pike again.
All right. You're striking it with the arms of Terrestria. Are you doing a green flame or are you just hitting it?
No, I'll just hit it. The green flame didn't seem to do a whole lot for me before, so...
Oh, you've multi-class, so you don't have extra attack, do you?
No!
That's right.
That's a 7, which makes it a 13 to hit.
13? Yeah, that hits. It's got an AC of 8, guys.
Oh.
Oh.
It's an
I figured
AC
it
of
had
8.
a
It's got
low
an AC of
AC,
8, a movement of 10, and its bonus to attack is 3.
Yeah, I figured it had a really low AC when it had a negative initiative.
It's got a dexterity of 6. If this
So
thing
that's-
challenges you, I've got questions.
That's 8 force damage.
8? Alright,
8.
so as you strike it with your arms of Terrestria, which is a good call, by the way, the fire flares once more, and as it does, this creature, this slime-like entity, it obviously had very little in the way of a self-preservation instinct, as it just came straight back in towards you, and the force of the arms of Terrestria striking it is enough to not only push it away, it fails the saving throw because it's dead. And it just immediately kind of seeps back down into the floor, where you note that it is the same color as the floor and just looks like a puddle.
Cool.
You have successfully vanquished the beast. Well done.
I did it!
You did it! He did it! He did it! Alright.
I'm just gonna call Frey up with me if we're done with combat.
We are with that, yes.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna call Frey up with me
Okay, you wanna...
and just poke the puddle.
Okay. It appears to just be non-reactive liquid substance now.
It is a puddler.
Yep.
Yes. Well, that was eventful. I'm glad you weren't up here. It was so hard, so tough to deal with.
Oh,
No, it really wasn't. It was 2 swings and it was done. I'm really not sure why it was even here, to be honest. Perhaps have a look around and see if we can find anything.
what exactly did you attack?
Oh, it was a little slimy glob thing.
Oh,
Yeah, had little
Oh.
slimy tentacles and
oh, okay.
yes,
Ugh.
yes.
Mm.
Okay.
So perhaps make sure to keep looking up when you're looking around.
Nobody ever looks up. Why would you do that?
And I am going to investigate the room.
Alright. So you did have a really good investigation check before, so I'll keep running with that unless you want to make a new roll. Up to you.
Now I'm pretty sure I got like a 15 or 17
It was
or
it
something.
was like I think you ended up with like a 16 or something like that. So it doesn't take too long for you to look around and realize that the hatch, looking down, the surface of that was wood, whilst the underside was metal. You look at the door to the room, and it's wood, not metal. And whilst there's crates and bits and pieces in here as well, most of them are falling apart. There is no metal in this room at all. The entire room is either stone or wood. But there's almost nothing salvageable in here. Everything that might have been useful or usable has either been removed or has been destroyed.
So, what exactly are we looking for? Is there
I'm not sure if we're looking for anything in here specifically, but we're looking for a creature like me, recently awakened.
Is more magic men?
There is apparently another one that the
Oh.
tree knew of. There may be more further afield, but this is the one that she's asked me to help.
Okay. So we're looking for a magic man in a sewer. That's
Yes, more
A
or less.
weird place to wake up. If they woke up like you said that you did.
Well, I woke up in a cave, and then a cage, so I think people can kind of wake up anywhere.
It's... Magic men seem to wake up in weird places anyway.
Yes, anyway. So, yeah. Looking around, the room's just made of wood and stone, there's no metal.
Doesn't appear to
And
be
nothing-
any metal or any salvageable objects that you can tell with taking a look through.
Does it appear like... Does the room appear damaged at all, or is it just natural over
There-
time rundownness?
It's just natural wear and tear, but the absolute absence of any form of metal is odd.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Other than that, it would appear to be very, very similar to any other little nook and cranny that you would imagine. I mean, it looks very similar to the room in which you walked through to get into the sewers. Just this one was a lot more locked up.
Okay, I'm going to go to the door and try peeking through.
Okay. So other than the tiny little slit down the bottom, which is barely even half an inch wide, you can see virtually nothing except the fact that there's sunlight outside.
Okay, I'm gonna stick my ear to the door. Do I hear anything on the other side?
Make a perception check.
I don't want to be rushing out to the middle of the Torlun district, surrounded by fucking guards everywhere. Perception, I think it's an 18.
You don't hear anything? Everything seems pretty quiet.
I try the knob.
Okay. Oh.
And then I try the door.
Yeah, you go to try and open the door, and that's when you realize the entire door itself is also made out of wood. The knob, the hinges, everything. And then as you try to open it, it's not opening. It appears to not be wanting to open outward at all.
I try opening it inward.
It does not open inward.
I try asking it nicely.
The door does not respond.
I threaten it with death.
The door
Oh my gosh.
is dead wood. It cares not for your belligerence.
Well,
The impression you get as you try to open it is that there is a resistance from the other side. Yeah, not that it is locked, but that there is a resistance from the other side. And having spent some time in the bastion between with some of the doors there appears to be either a barricade or a bar on the other side. Whatever that little slime thing was, it was thoroughly locked in here. What do you want to do?
Strange.
Sorry, I was deep in contemplation of our situation. Did you have an idea?
This room's weird, strange. It's all wood. Even the door.
Yes, there's no metal at all. And then that thing was stuck in here. Everything seems barred from outside the room. I take out one of my crossbow bolts and just go dip the tip of it in the puddle of slime.
Okay. Nothing seems to happen. Mostly because it's dead.
Well, it doesn't appear to be made of a corrosive material itself. Maybe it excreted one.
Ugh.
Yes, I know. Excretions.
I mean,
Oh, don't say it like that.
I mean, you're in a sewer. It's, who knows?
I would say just try and rip the door down for some help, but we don't know what's.
I mean, I can definitely
Yeah.
strong arm the door, but is that really how we want to go about this?
I don't think it's a good
The
idea.
first impression we make with whoever's on the other side is us strong arming a locked door from the inside.
The other thing you note is that it looks like sunlight coming from underneath the door, and the vision you saw of this individual was definitely not in a sunlit room or sunlit
Yeah.
area.
Should we keep moving?
Yes, I'm beginning to think more and more that this is not the way to go, door.
You win this time, door.
The door sulks.
We shall leave you to your peace and harmony, door, if that is your real occupation.
The door is now mollified.
Oh.
Maurice is gonna go back to the ladder and just slide down it.
Okay. And you do slide back down. Are you resealing the room or not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So
Yeah.
you both
I'll
find yourself.
close the hatch and reset the bar.
Yeah. You both find yourself at the base of the ladder once more. Now what?
I guess we carry on through this other pathway.
Carry on. Okay. All right. So you move down into this place, and despite what it looks like, we have a thing, because I need to put it back on the map, because I needed to remove it from the map, because people. Standing right about there is a large statue that seems to be of some upright humanoid bird-like creature. It is also somewhat see-through and appears to be made from glass. It's got a thin film of muck all over it, and you see that its hand is outstretched towards this little wall in front of it, and just beyond its hand, a lever. Yeah. That is all that you see upon entering the room.
Maurice walks up. Greetings, Kek. Oh, wait, no, you're not real. Well, that's disappointing. Oh, a lever!
Yes.
Do we pull it, Frey, or do I maneuver the
We-
crystal bird thing to make it pull it?
Should we check to see if there are, I know the Beastie Boys would. Check for, I think it was look, listen, check for traps?
Look, listen, check for traps. No, that sounds wrong.
Or was it listen, look?
No, I mean, we're in a sewer. Who would put traps in a sewer? It's fine. It's perfectly fine. Maurice walks over and pulls the lever.
Okay. So you pull the lever, and there is this solid sort of thunk as it comes down into place. Immediately, one of the portcullis-like doors slams shut near the far side of the room, right kind of where the glass statue is standing, sealing off the way. You also hear a further back from where you came. Nothing else seems to happen. So this way is now closed. I need to get that, if that's working. Why is that not working? Oh no.